They never tell you the truth of my beginning. They whisper of secret affairs and hidden shame, of a goddess desperate to hide her forbidden son. Let them whisper. The truth is far darker and far more divine. I was born not of lust, but of vengeance. My origin is a scar across the face of heaven itself. I am Anubis, the guide, the guardian, the opener of the ways. And this is how the god of death was given life. It began not with a cry, but with a silence so profound it had a weight, a presence. My mother, Nephthys, was a shadow in the court of the sun, a woman woven from longing and neglect. My father, Set, was a storm given form, all rage and thunder and unending hunger. Their union was not a marriage, it was a conquest. And from that conquest, I was never meant to be. She feared him, you see. She feared what he would do with an heir, a son born of his chaotic blood and her quiet power. So she hid me. She wrapped my first cries in layers of silence and fled to the marshes, to the world of reeds and mud. But a godchild is not so easily concealed. Our divinity leaks out. It calls to the world. It called to her. To Isis. She found us, my mother weeping over a basket hidden in the papyrus, my form shifting between a squirming, black-pelted puppy and a solemn-eyed infant. She did not see a beast. She did not see a secret to be exploited. She saw a tool, a perfect, unforeseen instrument of retribution. For her own husband, the great Osiris, already lay in pieces, scattered by my father's jealous blade. Her grief was a forge, and her love was the hammer. She took me from my mother's arms, not with cruelty, but with a terrifying purpose. I will keep your secret, she said. Her voice was the sound of the Nile sliding over stone. And he will keep mine. She raised me as her own, in the hidden places of the world. She fed me on moonlight and the whispered names of the dead. She taught me the geometry of the soul, the weight of a heart, against the feather of truth. I learned to walk the path between the living and the departed, a path no god had ever walked before. My form settled, the black jackal, not for menace, but for purpose. We are scavengers, yes, cleaners of the dead, but we are also guardians of the edges, the watchers of the thresholds between the desert and the sown land, between life and what comes after. Isis saw that in me. She honed it. I became her sharp, black knife in the dark. Together, we hunted. We sought every piece of my uncle, my father's victim. My nose, keen to the scent of divinity decaying, found the fragments of Osiris. I could smell his godhood on the air, a fading perfume of cedar and barley. I sniffed out his arm from the river mud, his leg from the depths of the ocean, his noble head from the foreign soil. I brought each piece to her, and she wept over them not with tears, but with spells. With every incantation, she stitched him back together. But some things cannot be fully mended. Osiris was whole, but he was cold. The world of the living had no warmth left for him. He needed a new kingdom. And so, she turned to me a final time.
You found him,
she said, her eyes holding galaxies of sorrow and resolve.
Now you must prepare him.
There, in the flickering torchlight of a hidden tomb, I performed the first rites. I wrapped his body in linen, spun with magic. I anointed his skin with oils that spoke of eternity. I placed my hands upon his cold brow and showed his soul the way to the duat, the endless night. I invented death, not as an end, but as a journey. I built the scales to weigh the heart. I built the codes by which a soul could be judged. I built the path so that he, and all who came after, would not be lost. In giving him peace, I found my purpose. I am the son of a storm god and a shadow goddess, raised by grief and vengeance. But I am defined by none of them. I chose my own way. As guardian of the final silence, I am the compassion that comes after the pain, the black guide who walks beside you when all other lights go out. They call me the jackal-headed god. They are wrong. I am both god and jackal, the one who knows that death is not a punishment, but a promise that every story deserves an ending, and that every ending deserves to be remembered. So let them whisper their tales of shame and secrecy. I know what I am, the first embalmer, the first mourner, the first guide. Anubis, And my origin is not a scandal. It is the first chapter in the book of the dead.
If you enjoyed the story, remember to click like, subscribe, and share. Drop your ideas in the comments and have a look at our other content for more epic stories from everyone at Epic Mythos Unveiled. Thanks for watching.